Greetings, fellow admirals. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Ascendancy, episode 43, Fleet Builder. First thing I want you live viewers to do is to vote in this poll. And you don't have to necessarily vote immediately. I will be explaining the choices. So here's the poll. Choice number 1 is obtain the other wormhole anchor. We have one of two anchors. The way they work is you install them in stable points, and then you can jump between each anchor as if they were gates, but they only can go from one to the other and back. I only have one half of the anchor. Another one is that we have 2 free administration slots, and I could work towards colonizing new planets. So that could be left up in the air of what planets to colonize. Are they going to be in our current system? Are they going to be in a different system that has a gate? And if they're not gated, would we want a wormhole anchor? I can also just generally treasure hunt and explore. I can increase faction relations with our allies. So our current faction, our current alliance, I should say, let me go into the intel screen for alliance, has me, Sindrian, and Tritech. But my relationship with Sindrian is not very strong, so we could improve it. It's only favorable at 19. I could also improve my relation with Persian League to try to welcome them into the alliance as well. 6th would be improve fleet strength and with better ships and captains. I've been rejecting captains on the basis that they are relatively expensive to upkeep per month, and I've decided to go against the grain and be like, all right, I don't need captains right now. I'm going to reject them all. But we could definitely start to add new captains, or I could go to war with a faction. For most of this series so far, the Ludic Church and the Hegemony have been allies with one another, but at the moment they're actually hostile with one another, which means that a part, they are vulnerable, right? An alliance between the two is dangerous, but they're not an alliance, they're actually at war, and I could probably start to mess with one of them. Likely Hegemony because it's the weaker of the two, or viewer suggestions. So there you go. There's the full list. And while you vote on that, there's a few other housekeeping items I'd like to do. So one is that there's a bit of a bug with operatives where if both of them are trying to do like Ludic cell infiltration, they don't work well. And also I had intended for Nil Rolsey here to not even do that anyway. So he is going to be headed out to Sindrian's new world here, basically just to improve relationships with them. I would like a passive relationship gain from an operative working as sort of a diplomat, and I'm leaving my saboteur to infiltrate the Ludic cells. All right, another thing I wanted to do is to help stabilize their brand new world so it doesn't fall to ruin immediately because they are my ally. So they have an unrest problem that needs supplies and heavy armaments. And I bet, oh yeah, I could just buy the heavy armaments on the black market and then hand it over to the authorities. Big brain play. So there we go. Pacification has been offered. So I lost money, heavy armaments, and supplies, but I increased the stability by 3. And then additionally, I increased my relationship with Sindrian and my relationship with the general here, the base commander. And then I can also hand over supplies for the rebellion problem. So I just did that as well, where I will fill up some of the supplies that I just handed over from the black market. So taking a look at their little world here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. They have a stability of 5 now. Nice. That's, we really got that sort of up and running quickly, which is great. All right. The other thing I could do while I'm here is, did they want to be a contact? No. All right. Well, that's fine. I quell the rebellion, and he's like, yeah, but I'm done with you. That's fine. Okay, I am going to start to work my way back to home. And then subsequently work on whatever you guys had voted on. Oh. Oh, right. This is the memorial. You know what? I want to check that out. So it looks like improving the fleet strength with better ships and captains is somewhat of the leading option here. And in order to do that, probably bar hopping for captains or station hopping for captains, which would be the easiest way to do it, just to hire them out. So that is what I'm going to do. As far as ships go, well, I'll think on that for a minute. I also wouldn't mind hiring some freelance admin as well. Because at some point, we're going to want to probably colonize. Whoa! Hey! Sindrian just captured Pheasant. What is my net income? About $250,000 or so. For reference, I'm finally able to, like, afford stuff. Bit of an understatement, because that's a lot of supplies for, you know, keeping the fleet running, I guess. So let's update that priority. So besides captains, there's always the now option that I have Orbital Works to start manufacturing ships, right? So here's a mercenary officer, but it requires a story point to hire them. They're reckless level 4 with 1 elite skill. That is definitely not worth a story point. And let's just keep moving around. We'll pop about, taking a look to see if we can find any captains. So, what I was going to say is, yeah, my custom production capacity per month, given that I have an Orbital Works and a heavy industry. So a little reminder, of course, let's go over. So Petrol here has Orbital Works that is story point boosted and Pristine Nanoforge boosted. And then Azaroon is in the process of getting heavy industry, which is Nanoforge boosted. So that means that I will have the capacity for a lot of custom production per month. With that said, I don't enjoy the part of this game where it has me like fiddling around with ships forever. I don't like having to outfit one ship at a time continually for like, you know, like an hour to get a fleet quite right. So I won't be doing that because I can't stand it personally. But with that said, I could stand to possibly manufacture some ships. Because if I manufacture ships, you know, we can, that's definitely one way to, like, get a better fleet. So I will consider it, just with the caveat of I'm not going to be tinkering too hard with the ships. So you are reckless with 2 skills, none elite. I'm not exactly sure I want anyone reckless. I mean, I know I'm being picky, but reckless captains tend to not be captains for very long because their ships go pop. We'll just keep doing the little tour. Ooh, yeah, that's not the first time that's come up. The research station up that way. So here's another officer. Aggressive is okay. Reckless, not so much. I'm gonna hire them, but if I find someone better, obviously I'm not gonna stick around with like a level 1. I'm just trying to fill up my my captains more quickly. Well, the Ludic Path just respawned, having captured Daphon. And, Should I invade Dafon? This would be sort of a side quest as I like look for captains. Oh boy. The Rod of Faith is invading Sindrian's desert world. That's not good. Oh, there was an Atlas super freighter. Hold on. Oh, it wasn't a freebie. Alright, here's another officer. Reckless? Nope. No, thank you. So Dafon, where is Dafon? God, where is Dafon? Church. Because I'll probably just port home and then come back and deal with Dafon. Oh yeah, okay, it's in Gingles. Alright, that's not going to be too hard. I'm gonna go one hop over to Zenazir and look for more captains and admins. And then I'll head over to Dafon. Isn't that Sindrian's only planet? Surprisingly enough, it is not. They have some hidden independent planet I don't know about. They have basically a planet that I have no knowledge of somewhere. Ooh, Petrol just got its Star Fortress. Ooh la la. So in terms of Star Fortresses, oh, we have a bit of a shortage here. Sean has one, Petrol has one, Azarun has just an orbital station. And then Vortex just has an orbital station. So the orbitals, Azarun and Vortex definitely need some improvements at some point, but I don't think it's necessarily a good investment at the moment. So now I'm going to have a new mission for my hybrid agent here, which is to raise relations. Confirm. So he's, I gave him some money, and I told him, hey, I want Sindrian to like me more. So, you know, work that out for me. And he's like, alright, cool. Works for me. Here's a freelance admin. Who does not have industry. So, no, thank you. Big ol' womp womp. Oh. This is interesting. This person wants me to send Marines down to Dafon, Luddic Path, to steal something? Sure. I mean, I was literally gonna go to Dafon to invade the whole planet, but if you're gonna pay me to go into some warehouse and steal something while I have Marines there, I might as well. That sounds like a pretty good deal. Normally I don't do those kind of missions, but that one's quite the freebie. Aggressive with damage control? Sure. Not my first pick, but that's fine. Alright, I'm gonna go to the last two planets in the system, and then I'll... Ooh, there's remnants here. Good to know. And then I'll head back to grab an invasion fleet so that we can make Dafon not exist anymore. Whoa, there's a lot of remnants here. Got it. So there's this Merc officer. They have elite energy weapon mastery. They're cautious with point defense? Yeah, no, absolutely not. Okay, I don't want to stick around here, because whatever's happening around here is not my problem. And I'm not paid to fix that. Alright, let's go down to home. How quickly do hired officers improve? They improve based upon, you know, like, combat fighting. So, it depends on how outnumbered I am and, you know, what ships I put them in, etc., etc. Improve the fleet and invade Daphon. Alright, question. What size ships should I prioritize in the fleet? So there, in terms of the ship size, we've got capital ships, which would be the biggest. We got cruisers, which would be the second biggest. Like, so the Paragon, for instance, is a capital ship. A cruiser would be like an Eagle or something like that. I'm trying to think of the typical cruisers that I have in my fleet. I don't really typically have a lot of cruisers in the fleet. It's not to say I don't like them. I've just been using ships that I find for the most part, so let's take a quick look before I continue explaining any more of this. So in terms of the ship size, capital ships obviously would be like legions, onslaughts, paragons, etc. And then you've got the cruisers. So cruisers would be like this Dominator or this this Eagle, you know, the Auroras, the Moros. And then going down smaller, we have we've got frigates, and well, we've got destroyers. So technically, I use a lot of cruisers, which is the Eradicators. I forgot about those. So then we could also do destroyers. So destroyers would be even smaller. I don't use a lot of destroyers. That would be like Sunder or Hammerheads, Enforcers. Those are the destroyers. And then even smaller yet would be the frigates. So we've got a whole bunch of frigates that I use typically, like the Omens are frigates, and then the monitors that I use are frigates. So what I'm essentially asking is, like, if I was to expand the fleet, it's important to note, however, that you are limited to about 30 ships. It's sort of a soft cap, but if you exceed that cap, you get, like, raked over the coals price-wise for it. So going swarmy small ships doesn't really fare very well against really big enemy fleets. And the way you're voting up here will be roughly the ship composition that I'm aiming for. But I'm not going to be manufacturing any ships right now because I am heading to go mess with Daphon. Because I don't want them, and by them I mean the Ludic Path. I don't want them to come back. Okay, so I've got a lot of, I'll even buy some heavy machinery, even if, or heavy armaments. So I have some means to head back and mess with them now. Daphon is in Gingulks, so if I find any, like, smuggling opportunities heading into Gingulks, I'll buy that as well. Everything wants to be smuggled into Vecna, not Gingulks, so I guess I'm leaving all this alone. Alright, that's all well and good. Let's go back. So now I've got the Valkyrie. Let's also auto-assign officers, so that I've got, well, let's take all the officers out. There we go. So now I have officers in all the ships that I'm bringing to level up some of the lobies. And I suppose it wouldn't hurt to give the lobies some names, right? So raffle time is up for the 2 new officers. It's not to say that I'm necessarily going to keep them. I'll warn you that, you know, I might dump them if I find better officers. I'm not, like, loyal to random people I hired off the street. Oh, and while I was here, I might as well just check for officers in, like, Sean. I mean, I'm here, right? So there's a freelance admin who has industrial planning. You're hired. And a naval officer who has elite target analysis, is aggressive, but wants a story point. Nope. You also look like a terrorist, wearing like a balaclava. Like a olive drab balaclava, who's like demanding a story point to be hired. It's like, I don't trust you. What about you? Reckless? Nope, I didn't want any recklessness. And then there's some path watchers here that just like are asking to be absolutely curb stomped. I'm not gonna waste my time with it, but my second in command can go smoke them. I like how they were like, hey, answer your comms, and I'm like, no. Answer this volley of fire to your face, dummy. Oh, I don't have room for the fuel. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, there's a bounty here? A system bounty. The Independent Commerce Concern, wow. Yeah, the Independents put up a bounty for, enemies of my faction to protect, essentially protect trade in this system. Yeah, sure. That sounds good. Alright, so we are headed over to Gingolks, which is up there. So let's go to Thros. And then the next question I have for you guys is, what tech level of ships? So you've decided that mostly we're going to focus on cruisers, high tech, medium tech, low tech. So speaking specifically of cruisers, high tech cruisers would be like the Apogee or the Aurora. Medium tech would be like the Champion. Low tech would be something like an Eradicator. So the tech level doesn't necessarily mean how strong it is. It just means higher tech is generally, this is a huge generally speaking, but generally speaking, high tech is like lasers. Medium tech is a mix of lasers, missiles, ballistics, and low tech is like missiles, ballistics. It's basically, do you use lasers or do you use guns or do you use a mix of the two? So like the Legion here is, you know, a low tech capital ship. You know, it uses mostly ballistics and missiles. The Paragon is a high-tech capital ship, uses mostly lasers. One is not necessarily better than the other. They're just different. So I'm going to have you decide. So if you vote like high-tech, I would pivot from using Eradicators over to like Apogees or Auroras or something like that. If you want medium tech, I would do like Champions maybe. I'm not really sure how I would handle medium tech. I don't usually use medium tech ships, but that doesn't necessarily mean I don't like them. Or I think Griffins are medium tech, but I don't like Griffins. I think Moras are medium tech too. And then if you want me to do low tech, I would probably manufacture more pirate Eradicators as I like. Well, no, I'll keep normal Eradicators, but I could also include like Dominators. Dominators are really good gunboats. So it'll be up to you of what sort of specific tech ships we do. I'll put 5 minutes on the board there. So, do certain ships have higher maintenance costs than others? Again, generally speaking, phase ships have much higher support costs than other ships. Phase ships come with penalties like delicate machinery and all that, so that they require a lot more support to pay for. So those are the ones that are usually pricey. You know, the Afflictors and the Dooms and things like that. And then there are exceptions, because you have some ships that require an insane amount of crew. So for instance, forget support, because one of the other factors is crew minimums. So like the crew minimums of a Legion is 780 crew. The crew minimum of a Paragon is 400 crew. So like the Legion almost requires twice as many crew as the Paragon. And crew have costs as well, especially carrier ships. Typically when they when the fighters die, the crews have to be replaced, even if you have like rescue and all that. So as a net result, you know, I would say high crew cost, like Invictus, right? High crew cost ships are really expensive to run, and carriers are typically more expensive to run. Not always, but typically again. And I keep saying, yeah, this is just generally speaking, because there are exceptions to just about everything in this game. Oops. So Rolokian, you got this aggressive pilot. And Krieg, Zoshi, you got this aggressive pilot. I'm going to assume that you want a space rather than underscore. I gotta say, the person that this totally looks like a Krieg. Zoshi. I don't know. There's something about it. It's kind of perfect. But yeah, that would be the multiple caveat, generally speaking. So yeah, some ships are stupid high expense. Like I said, the Invictus. The Invictus is like a giant honking slab of metal with like no shields and crazy armor that just like, yeah. That's basically the long and short of it. Alright. So we're heading in over to Dathon, and then I'll continue looking for captains. Oh, so here's a Dathon invasion fleet. Who are you invading? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm invading you. Alright, I don't have enough deployment points to actually deploy all the captains, so I'm going to choose to not deploy the Legion so that all of the new captains can have a crack at killing Pathers. Yeah, whatever you end up voting up there, I'm probably not going to take, unless it really warrants using high expensive ships. I'm probably not going to roll out like Invictuses, because unless you're able to like bankroll, $1 million a month for like crew and supply costs, like some ships just don't make sense. What tech is the Pegasus? Pegasus would be medium tech, I think. There's also like color. So if it's blue, it's high tech. If it's yellow, it's medium tech. And then if it's like red, orange red, it's low tech. There's kind of like a color coding going on too. Hey Gremlin, stop shooting me in the butt. Don't you hate it when you're gremlins, you get butt gremlins? Alright, this stupid ship debris that's like sitting in front of me, stopping me from shooting enemies is so annoying. I hate when that happens. It just like floats directly in front of you for the longest time. They're like, why? Get out of my way. Yeah, this Pather fleet is just like all support ships, if you ask me. Like mules and shepherds and the like. Like this fleet that I'm fighting has absolutely no... It should not have been deployed on the battlefield, like at all. It is not at all battle worthy. Alright, where are they? Okay, there's a bunch to my right. Ooh, they're actually going to take out a Eradicator, I think. Unless I can help. And it looks like my help came just in time. This gremlin's just like phased and waiting. Yep. Ah, my tack lance missed. That's a dead grem. I'm surprised they haven't given up, considering how few ships they have left. They've got like a... Okay, there we go. They were just waiting on that one mule. Yeah, that one mule was totally going to take me out. Let's pursue and second command it. Ship recovery. Don't want any of them. They're all junk. Oh! A HVP, as well as a lot of heavy armaments, which, funny enough, I'm going to probably end up using to invade their own planet. A very much a stop hitting yourself type situation. Alright, we did have 2 of our pilots level up. So, Relokian, you leveled up. You're aggressive, so we're going to give you ballistic mass... Or, you know what? If you are going to become... Huh. So if I'm going to be doing a high-tech fleet, I might want to start considering what types of captains I bring in to be fleets that are like better at high-tech. So I'm going to give you combat endurance. And I'm going to hold on to my story points for now, but I will consider story pointing them up later if I like them. All right, my other one, I'll do target analysis. So they have damage control, target analysis, gunnery implants. So the one with gunnery implants is not really... Well, that is for energy weapon range, I suppose. But yeah, good job. Leveling both up. Their station's still under repairs. And won't be... Wow, I got here 4 days to spare. Alright, so first things first, a tactical bombardment. We don't even need it, because they don't have any military targets on the ground. Alright, let's do a raid. What was our raid for? A raid designated warehouse. There we go. Launch it. And we got disrupt competitor completed. So we completed that task for the Independence. Then... I have to wait to invade? Is that right? Is it like, you can't... Yeah, I have to wait another day to do an formal invasion. That's fine. I'll pop over to Merlin and see if they have captains for hire. And... black market some stuff. No captains. Security codes for Lug Church. Don't really need those right now. Okay, good enough. Okay, so if we wanted to do another raid, they don't have anything uniquely of value here, so I'm just gonna invade. I'm gonna tell them to auto move and auto deploy. We'll start off by using... I don't even really think I need to use anything because they're such a weak target. Who do we give this planet to? Hypothetically, I could keep it. I don't want it, though. I will preface. It's not... Actually, let me look at the colony. So we've got... terrible or... and still has atmosphere and it's also cold. Blah. It's not a very good world. Keep it. Give it to Sindrian. Give it to Tri-Tac. Give it to... Hypothetically, I could also give it to Persean League. Give it to Pirates. The Independents are fine. I don't have a real strong relationship with them anyway. So you guys decide what we're doing with it. And then in terms of like how many planets everybody has, so here's the faction directory. So the Hedge has 5 markets, or 5 planets. The Independents have 5. The Church has 14. The Path has 2. Oh, there's a hidden market somewhere. Okay, so got it. Persean League has 2. The Pirates have 8. Sindrian has 3. And Tri-Tac has 6. And then as far as like who has like land claims, if you will, this is Dafon. So I don't... Tritac does have a claim here at Daphon. So Tritac was the original occupant, original holder of Tritac, or of Daphon. So I think they'd want it back. It was originally a Tritac world. If that makes any difference. Oh, you're a salvage fleet. I thought I was about to get to smush another one of their fleets. This should be really easy. We're like losing single-digit Marines. In fact, I might as well just try to pick up more... Oh, we already captured it. That was easy. I was gonna say, we might as well just hire out more Marines while we're here. There we go. There is a sleeper cell that I just identified. So, storage. Take everything. Looks like giving it to Tritac. We're very generous to Tritac. So, station commander. Give to another. To Tritac. Tritac loves me. And then I'll just black market the stuff I just grabbed. I don't know. I think I'm gonna black market most of the heavy armaments except for just a few. Okay, so Daphon's gone. And... did it say the path that went poof? Yeah, faction technically eliminated, so they don't have any holdings that I know of. Good. And... we're all set here. So let's go ahead and consider specific ships to make. So, for the most part, you guys wanted cruisers. And, the only high-tech... there's very few high-tech cruisers that I even have access to. So there's the Fury. And let me sort by design type. So here's all the high-tech ships I know how blueprints. So I've got the Paragon for a capital. I've got the Fury for a cruiser. Now, I don't necessarily have to manufacture them. I could just go and buy them, too. Right? Like, I have a pretty good budget. So we've got phase ships. So yeah, I really, at the moment, only have Furies. Should I add Furies to the fleet? Yes. Or no, seek out a different high-tech cruiser. So they are high-tech cruisers. Let's see if... so this is a Fury for reference. So Fury has a brief engine boost, propelling the ship forward at extreme velocity, so it can kind of rush around. I have noticed in my personal experience with Furies is that they are strong, but they're more strong controlled by the player, as the AI usually just like blitzes forward into Fury and gets themselves blown up. So, as far as the ships that I think are really good controlled by AI, I would say Apogee or Aurora is a better choice than a Fury. It looks like overwhelmingly you guys are like, you basically said, yeah, no, don't go with Fury. All right. While I'm here, I might as well check for captains, though. No captains. I'll just keep searching for captains as I search for ships. Now, another thing I could do is to try to make a contact with a blueprint smuggler to buy blueprints. I saw that question pop up, and yeah, it's possible to buy blueprints. You don't necessarily just have to find it. Another officer who's steady and a ballistic mastery. Well, if we're about to have a high-tech fleet, ballistic mastery is not very helpful. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector Ascendancy, which originally streamed live on Twitch, August 20th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode for an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow captains.